All right, so we're going live here on this Friday morning. I have a couple of hours to kill before I have to go back out and run an errand. So, yeah, figured why not here and kind of catch up. No painting. Yeah, I'll save the painting for later. Uh, Again, I have a couple of hours to kill here, so I'll just do a live stream and see what's up. And I'll wait for people to come in. Let's see. Alter Ego, hey. So we got Alter Ego so far. And yeah, always, for my live streams, sometimes I will grab like a notebook, in case if ideas come to mind or something, Um, she's doing good. She's just, running around, doing her thing, bothering the heck out of me, which is fine. So, so for people out there that don't know, my brother's getting married tomorrow. It's going to be a big wedding. And yesterday, I went to the men's warehouse to get my suit. Turns out, uh, between a few of us, because all of us are getting suits and stuff, we went at different times. So we all went to three different men's warehouse locations, and I got my suit, but I have to run back out and get a dress shirt that fits. So they've already put in the order, so I have to run back to men's warehouse, which is a 45-minute drive, and get the dress shirt. Everything else is good. So before I leave, I figured why not do a live stream here. Um, Tonight is the rehearsal dinner, so it should be fun. I've never seen Cruel Intentions, so I don't know about a reboot. Hey DJ, not much. Just killing a little time here before I have to leave. I have to go run an errand in a couple of hours here. So yeah, like I said, I went to go get my tux yesterday for my brother's wedding, and everything fit. Like the jacket, the vest, the pants, the shoes, everything is good. But the dress shirt, I have to go back and get a new one. It was just way too tight. I couldn't button down the dress shirt, so I have to run back out here in a little bit. Yeah, we're coming. Yeah, we're at this point now. We're making Sleepy Beauty horror movies. Sleeping Beauty's Massacre. Uh, that sounds like a straight to Tubi movie. You wonder where people get this money to. Now we've come to the point where not only did we get a Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey horror film, now we're getting a Sleeping Beauty. Weren't they making Bambi? Wasn't there a Bambi horror film coming out? When are we getting a Popeye horror movie? I'm just waiting for that. Where they can kind of take a note from John Wick, where somebody takes a spinach. Like in the first John Wick movie, they kill his dog. So in the Popeye horror movie, they can take his spinach, and he can go on a rampage. There you go. I just gave you a free pitch. The Bambi horror movie is entering production this summer, of course. How much you willing to bet it's going to be a CGI deer? If you hear a noise, it's the fan going, because this desk lamp right here can get hot a little bit. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they did that movie. They did the Grinch movie, horror film, whatever, the mean one. So what else is next? Mickey Mouse? Popeye? Betty Boop? Is Betty Boop going to be next? If Bambi is practical, I'll be surprised. Yeah, the Cat in the Hat is next. If Bambi will be, maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say. But yeah, I mean, I'm willing to bet Bambi's not going to be practical. The Lorax. Yeah, like what other Dr. Seuss movies or books can we make into horror films? What was it? Horton here? I can't remember all of them. I mean, Cat in the Hat, obviously, but you see, we got to stop talking about this because all it does is just give him ideas. I mean, they're already done the Grinch. So what's next? One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. I remember that one. That's going way back. I remember way back in the day, and this just came to mind. This book, it was a kid's book called Pickle Things. And I had this way back when. In fact, let me pull up an image of it. Yeah, Green Eggs and Ham is going to be next. So way back when, in the early 90s, when I was maybe one or two or three, maybe two or three, I had this book here. So let me see if I can get the image ready. And yeah, this is going to be a throwback. Yeah, Veggie Tales. You know, that's going to be next. Yeah, so okay, here it is. So back in the day when I was two or three, maybe four, so this is going back 30 years. But I had this book, Pickle Things. Yeah, again, this is an old one. Whenever this came out, I don't know when this book came out, but I remember that cover. So, yeah, that's a throwback for sure. I could tell you when this book came out, and I mean, they're old. Anyway, favorite Stephen King adaptation movie? I would say The Shining, even though I haven't read the book, so I'm not too familiar with what is different, what's the same, but I love The Shining. I would say that's my favorite. Yeah, so that particular book that I showed you, right now the hardcover on Amazon is going for $30. It came out in 1980. So even by then, in the early 90s, that book had been around for 10 or so years. But I had that book way back when. But yeah. So even that little book is going for $30 on Amazon right now. Yeah, the Smurfs, yeah. I thought weren't they gonna make a Teletubbies horror movie or something along those lines? I thought they were. Or maybe like a it was like a parody or a spoof or something, a meme. Let's see what's going on out there in movie news land. Probably nothing worth mentioning. Have a good one. So I'm thinking tomorrow because I may do it tonight, actually. I'll go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and watch Nighthawks. I don't have the movie. I'm gonna have to rent it. But that's going to be my first review back. So yeah, I will be watching Nighthawks here, even though tonight is the rehearsal dinner. But when I get back, I can watch that and prepare for my review for that. And I do, and I still have. I think it's in this notebook actually. If I could find it. I thought it was in here. I actually have my notes when I reviewed Blue Steel back in January, and that review is still up. But I have yeah right here. I have a date, January 19th of 2023. I thought before I moved, everyone had put down a request. I think it's in this notebook. Let me find it. I thought it was. Yeah, there's my Rocky 3 notes when I reviewed Rocky 3. Yeah, I'm still doing the Stallone marathon. Yeah, actually, here's my notes for Paradise Alley. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna skip that for now because I can't remember too much about the movie. At best, it's just a meh. Like there's some good direction, like solid direction from Sly, but it's not a film that's worth remembering, worth mentioning. And Sly can't sing because that's the first thing that you hear in the beginning of the film. Hmm. So I know before I moved, there was requests that I wrote down in a notebook but I still think it's in a community post, so I could just go back and find that. Hey, Kyle, hope you're doing well. And nobody's in the stream, but I'm going to keep going. Let me see here. Go back in my community post here. Oh, shit. Yeah, I still have it. So a month ago or whenever that was, I wrote down a bunch of requests. So yeah. But I don't see, I might have to. So I don't know who requested what here. I see all the reviews that were recommended. But I don't know who requested what. So we'll have to figure that out. Let me see if I can somehow save that image. Yeah. There you go. And I don't know if you could see it that good. I don't know if that worked. Yeah. Anyways, so basically, before I moved, this is probably going on 2 months ago. Yeah, I wrote down some films for me to review. So I still have that in a post. Anyways. I'll just wait for people to comment or chime in. Hey, Common Rider. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. I got 5.5 hours of sleep. It's starting to hit me a little bit, but I'll be okay. No, Indy 5 is going to stink. It's the Dial of Life alert. I understand, I heard too that apparently in the movie Indiana Jones, they have a divorce between him and Marion. Like, never, they completely scrapped the marriage because at the end of Indy 4, Indiana Jones marries Karen Allen's character. And apparently, and I could be wrong, that in Indy 5, you find out that they got a divorce. That's what I've heard. I could be wrong. I'm open to correction. But yeah, so apparently that happens. So I know this live stream was unannounced, but I will do another one before the weekend is over. So um, for people out there, yeah, I know this was kind of random, but I was just sitting around this morning, even though I have to leave in a little bit. But I will do another live stream here before the weekend's over. I've never heard. I don't know what that is. It's a very popular anime that has been around for a long time. I don't know why I've never heard of it. I mean, well, for one, I'm not too big on anime, so I'm not too all familiar with what's out there. What movie from your movie collection, would you recommend for a perfect night in? I mean, I can mention some favorites, but if I look over there, um, I mean, it depends what you're in the mood for. I mean, if you're by yourself, I mean, you probably want to watch a comedy. So if I just kind of look over there, I could throw in, let's say, Clue, the movie, Robin Hood Men in Tights. Um, I don't know. I mean, these are classics. But, it depends what you're in the mood for. If you're by yourself or, if you're with a loved one or a date. Like a date movie, you got to go with the horror movie. So why not The Shining? Why not Jaws? Jaws you can't go wrong with. It's timeless. But I mean, if you talk about some of my favorites, I would throw in there Hackers. It's one of my go-to movies. Jaws is definitely my number one favorite film, so it's a go-to for sure. Big Trouble in Little China, Tremors, Those are favorites. Batman 89. Uh, Comedies, I look at Night Shift. I see it right there in my collection. Love that movie. It's funny. Michael Keaton is great. So there's tons of movies. I mean, it depends what you're in the mood for. One that jumps to mind that not a lot of people talk about, obscure 80s movies, Jack's Back. Jack's Back with James Spader. That's a good one. Not a lot of people talk about. It's definitely a hidden gem, but I recommend that one. It's kind of like if you take the Jack the Ripper, if you take that uh, the Jack the Ripper case and you give it an 80s context, like an 80s um, time setting, that's a good movie. Not a lot of people talk about it. I saw that for the first time last year, late last year. But yeah, Jack's Back with James Spader, that's a good one. I mean, there's more, but that's just one that I thought of. Doomcock, I don't know who that is. So if anybody wonders about the Sly Marathon here, up next is Nighthawks. After that is Victory, and then we can get to the First Blood series. And I definitely will do more for the First Blood. Well, I haven't even done the discussion yet for the Rocky series. I think we did a live discussion of the first Rocky, but Rocky two through Rocky Balboa. I know, me and Matt were supposed to do that before I moved, so we're gonna have to definitely set up for that one. I think that will come up before. I think what I may do is, review Nighthawks and Victory, and then we can get to like talk about Rocky two through Rocky Balboa live. Do a discussion, and then we'll jump into me reviewing the First Blood series, each movie, and then at the end of that, do a discussion of all those movies. So I may do that. So that way, you get a little bit of, well, depends what we get into with the Rocky 2 through Rocky Balboa discussion. But, and, I may, maybe I could do it before, but let's say if up next on the plate for the Sly Marathon again, I could just review Nighthawks, Victory, then we can do that live discussion of Rocky 2 through Rocky Balboa, and then we can get into the Rambos. So that way we can plan it a bit. I have to talk to Matt still and see what he if he needs a little time to sort of plan you know, what kind of information that he wants to bring to the table and so forth. Because even Matt, like he's as far as like information and knowledge, being a very diehard fan of Sly. I mean, there's so much that I don't know about that he can bring to the discussion. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. The only problem with those, the problems with Andy and Rambo is they didn't know when to stop. To me, Rambo ended back in 2008 with Rambo 4. The same year Indy 4 came out, those are should have been the end of those characters. Who would have thought that, you know, a decade later, Rambo would come back in a mediocre film that in no way, shape, or form feels like a Rambo movie, but a poor ass Taken film. And then you have Indiana Jones who's back in the Dial of Life alert, and apparently him and Marion are divorced, and it's going to be, I'm willing to bet, a 2 hour and 20-minute movie where the female lead is outdoing and outgoing Indiana Jones and all this stuff. How much you want to bet it's going to be a big bore? That if there's any action scenes that are worth of note or slightly memorable, it's going to be in the first 5 minutes. So, yeah, classic characters, but they didn't know when to stop. Rambo, Rambo 5 wasn't needed, and the same goes for Indy 5. I thought the way those two characters wrapped up, funny enough, the same year, back in '08, Rambo went full circle. Indiana Jones marries Carrie Allen's character. That's how you should end it. But we get Rambo 5 and we get Indy 5. Well, I mean, I saw like a trailer for the new Mortal Kombat game. I mean, I've only played a little bit of Mortal Kombat 11 for PS4. I think that's what it was. I know with this new Mortal Kombat, they're starting back over, but I mean, I don't have a PS5 or any of the new systems, so I just still have a PS4. I mean, I'm not sure about it. It could be good. I don't know. Oh boy, here we go. Kicking the balls, punch through a wall, forced to watch paint dry. Well, I mean, they're all pieces of shit. Um, can we just like kick them all the balls and punch through a wall? I mean, Danny Masterson has got no choice. He's going to prison now, apparently for a long time, so he's going to watch a lot of paint dry. So we'll let Masterson watch the paint dry since he's going to spend the prison time. Punch through a wall, Victor Salva kicking the balls, Ezra Miller. Yeah, so that's my answer. I got to go with Blu-ray, even though I have way more DVDs. Um, but I do want to convert more. I mean, I would say Blu-rays right now I have maybe over 200, but I would like to get more, convert more, or like convert more to Blu-ray because DVDs, you know, like I said, I have way more of those. Well, used to be. This is before Gary Busey went crazy and started touching people. I know Fabio um, was at that convention where he got in trouble. Yeah, my good friend up here, Fabio, he went to that same convention where Gary Busey got in trouble for touching people inappropriately. Yeah, he's a nutcase, and he needs to go. I mean, back in the day, yeah, Gary Busey, did some good movies, and whether it was, Silver Bullet, Predator 2, Lethal Weapon, um, and so much more, Point Break, but the guy's a lunatic. I mean, wasn't there a video where he was sitting out in the park, like on a bench, naked, or like with his pants down? I mean, the guy needs to, go to retirement home. So yeah, back in the day, Gary Busey, but not now. I mean, the guy is again a lunatic. Hey, British Crumpet Man. I don't think I've ever seen you on here before, but welcome to the stream. What's your favorite James Woods movie other than Videodrome? I have to go with Cop. Not a lot of people talk about Cop, but I saw that for the first time last year, around the same time that I watched. In fact, it may have been this year, because funny enough, in my notebook here, I had found my notes for a review that I did for Blue Steel back in January, and I watched that and Cop in the same day. So yeah, I saw the film Cop back in January, and I would say that's my favorite James Woods movie. I mean, nowadays, people's heads would explode from that movie. But yeah, the ending. Yeah, I was getting ready to mention the ending. I forgot what he said in the ending, but the ending blew me away. Like I did, like wow, such a great ending that there's no way they would make that film now because again, people's heads would explode. But I would say Cop is my favorite. I mean, I know who Ted Nugent is, but I don't know much of his music. Like I don't know. I know that's weird, but I'm not too familiar with his music. I mean, that's just the truth. Was he the one that did Cat Scratch Fever? And again, this is I know, yeah, Cat Scratch Fever. That's like the one song that I know that he's done. But other than that, I mean, I'm not too familiar with his work. And again, I know that's weird. He's an icon and stuff. I have no idea, and I rather not think about it. My favorite decade for movies has got to be the '80s. Even though I was '90s, yeah, I grew up in the '90s, but I think the '80s has so much more. And by the way, happy birthday to Jamie, Jamie Hart, uh, a cool person up here. I know last night she celebrated her birthday in a birthday stream. Again, happy birthday to Jamie. I did stop by in the chat for a little bit, and I know she had some guests, which is cool. Mm. My nose, my neck. Have you seen shows like Road Rovers, Bonkers, Bucky O'Hare, and Tailspin? I remember Tailspin a little bit, but I don't remember the others. To be honest with you, I've only seen a little bit of that movie. I've never seen American History X, like the entire movie. Just a little bit here and there. I have the movie on DVD somewhere, but yeah, I mean I've never seen the whole film. I know that's weird, um, and it's not because of the subject matter. It's just I haven't gotten around to watch the film yet. You'll be shocked. There's quite a bunch of those in my collection. Like there's so many that I can point out right now that I haven't seen yet. Edward Norton was robbed of an Oscar. So we got four people watching. Yeah, I know this isn't much of a stream. This is kind of out of the blue here. Everybody's probably working. But it's okay. Um, I mean, he's a favorite of mine. So I think was it last year? So last year I did an Arnold marathon, and Arnold's not the first. I've done marathons for Keanu Reeves way back in 2020, which I can't believe that was that long ago. But I reviewed all the James Bond movies. Right now, I'm doing the Stallone marathon where I review the same thing I did for Arnold, Keanu Reeves, where I review every film in their filmography. So I'm doing that right now, and so I've already reviewed the Rockies. Uh, up next is Nighthawks. So I mean, Arnold's he's one of my favorites. I mean, he's up there, but yeah. So I'm once in a while I'll do like a marathon where I'll go through somebody's filmography and review every film they've done, good, bad, great, no matter you know how the film is or whatnot. Like Keanu Reeves, that was interesting. Like going back and reviewing some of the early ones, even though some sucked, like Babes in Toyland. But that was fun. Yeah, Edward Norton is underrated. Most underrated Keanu Reeves movie, I would say. Um, I'm gonna say Constantine. I'm gonna say that Constantine is underrated. Yeah, is it his most underrated? Like it's an underrated movie, but is it his most underrated? I'm trying to think. Is Constantine his most underrated movie? It's underrated, but is it the most underrated? Um, I'm thinking about maybe The Replacements is underrated. Uh, hmm. For now, I would just say Constantine. I was trying to think, I was trying to think of something else. I have Dragon Ball, yeah, but not the other ones. Hey, Kyle. Good morning. Do you think that Copland should have won multiple Oscars? I would say, if anything, Stallone should have gotten an Oscar for his performance. Yeah, Edward Norton. I don't know what happened to that guy. He seems like he kind of fell off the map, or I don't know. I've heard sometimes he's not the most pleasant to work with, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, I did see the trailer for The Hidden Strike, which is this action movie with Jackie Chan and John Cena. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to see. Something that should have starred, Sly and Jackie Chan. Now we got John Cena and Jackie Chan. Favorite Michael Mann film for a while there, I would have said Collateral, but I'm going to go with Heat. I think Heat is my favorite. Henry's Crime, I don't remember much about it. I did watch the movie, but I don't think I reviewed it. Or if I did, I kind of gave it like I thought maybe it was just kind of average or middle of the road. Um, like I try to remember anything. Like I can't remember much about the movie. I remember James Caan is in it, but I thought I know it was like a caper comedy, but I don't remember much about it. I would say my favorite movies so far this year, maybe Guardians 3. Yeah, I would say, yeah, Guardians Volume 3 is my favorite this year so far. Rocco's Modern Life. Yeah, yeah, he's not alone as far as John Cena goes. The guy can't act. He has only range, and I can't see it because I can't see Cena. And his range is this because I can't see his range. I can't see Cena because I can't see, so therefore I can't see his acting abilities. There's no acting there. I can't see what range, what acting ability. I can't see Cena. So what am I looking at? What am I supposed to look at? I'd rather look at a bowl of fruity pebbles. Yeah, Sisu looks interesting. I know Matt reviewed it. I may check it out. Do I want to see The Rock appear as a guest character in Tekken 8? No, not really. Yeah, that's what I saw a clip from that show where basically it's like a therapy session and they're doing this little thing with like puppets where it's like, Sesame Street therapy. And like Arnold, what are you doing? It's just so stupid. Arnold needs to retire. I'll put that up in the community post or something, but yeah, that scene from that. Arnold, why? Sly's reality show is very cringe. I would say I did see the first two episodes of it. The more interesting things. Okay, so whenever Sly is interviewed, like Sly is the more interesting part of that reality show, but who cares? Nobody cares. I've never seen Pirates of Dark Water. Thoughts on Al Pacino becoming a dad again? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah, Al Pacino becoming a dad at 83. And apparently, the girl that Al Pacino is having another kid with, apparently, she's been with older guys before, like Clint Eastwood and somebody else. So, yeah, I guess Al Pacino, his little friend still works, unloading that little friend. Yeah, and 29 years old. Yeah, I guess Al Pacino still got that sin of a woman. He got that sin of a woman when he had late night insomnia. And he said, "Hoo-wah!" Yeah, Al Pacino, a dad again at 83. Yeah, exactly. And Robert De Niro, yeah, Robert De Niro had a kid, then Al Pacino. Al Pacino's like, hold my beer. Robert De Niro's having a kid at 80. He's going to have it at 83. Um, I would say my favorite Clint Eastwood movie is, or directed movie, maybe Unforgiven. Yeah, yeah. Just I feel bad because the kid is not going to, you know, like Al Pacino. He's not going to be, unfortunately, around too much longer. As much as I hate to say it, but here's a guy that's 83 years old. I mean, and you can still have kids. I mean, Clint Eastwood had kids in his 60s. So, I mean, of course, I mean, us guys, we can still do that. I mean, but the kid's not going to be around enough to experience a father, or can you imagine like down the line when the kid has to, you know, oh, my dad was 80 years old, my mom was a 30-year-old, 50-year age gap, which, look, if that's something they want to do, you know, it doesn't matter to me, but you know, I just, I don't, you can't imagine. Can you imagine like telling your kids, yeah, my dad was 83, Hollywood legend, and then, the girl is 29, whatever, too much weed. Yeah, I mean, I've never seen Simone, but yeah, Al Pacino, I mean, somebody give him a virtual girl, for Pete's sake. Somebody needs to give Al Pacino, like, you know, instead of getting 29-year-old girls pregnant, which, she's of age, but Al Pacino, buddy, there's Pornhub. Golly, if you want to get off, go to fucking Pornhub. I feel, I feel bad for the woman. Anyways, I have no idea. Yeah, since Expendables 3, Snipes, it's either he did Coming to America sequel, or I know he was in Dolomite, which I've heard is good, but I haven't seen it. But yeah, I mean, he's just kind of, he didn't really make a big splash when he came back for Expendables 3. No, I don't want to get high with Seth Rogen. So I may go on for like 20 more minutes here. But those. Wow. Yeah, I mean, think that's crazy. I mean, again, what are these guys doing where now they're having babies in their 80s? I mean, favorite horror movie has got to be The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. If you had to create your own Mount Rushmore from scratch, how would you make, and who would it be on it? As far as like celebrities, actors, Stallone's got to be up there on that Mount Rushmore. Clint Eastwood. Um, hmm. Trying to think who the other two would be. Arnold. I'll put Arnold up there, and then you know what? Since we're talking about him a little bit, and I know I'm joking, but I'll put Pacino. So Eastwood, Pacino, Sly, and Arnold. Yeah, Dunkachino. Yeah, that's the funniest bit of the movie, the Dunkachino. What's my name? Dunkachino. Oh man. Then after like he saw that, he's like, burn this. The funniest part of the movie. Which color ranger would I be? Probably blue. I mean, blue's my favorite color, so yeah. I mean, isn't Expendables 4 supposed to come out in the fall? I mean, I think we'll probably see a trailer here in the next month or so. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing out there. I mean, who wants to see Megan Fox and 50 Cent for an Expendables movie? Ugh, it's gonna suck. The Rock, no, he would not go anywhere near it. Expendables 4, it's already made. Uh, Stallone is going to have a very minimal role. Either he'll kind of walk off. I don't know what's going to happen to his character, but it's more so Statham's movie. He's going to be the lead character. He's going to take over. Dolph Lundgren's in it, I think, but he's barely going to be in it. I have a feeling. Jet Li's not in it. Randy Couture's back. I mean, you have Tony Jaa. That's a guy that should have been in it from the get go. But you also have 50 Cent and Megan Fox. It's going to be trash. Uh, Favorite Marlon Brando movie excluding The Godfather? Well, I've never seen the Godfather movies, and I know that's strange. I want to watch them though because I do have all of those movies. But I'll say Superman the movie. How about that? What was the last Van Damme movie you enjoyed? He's got a few new movies ready to be released. I've heard good things about Six Bullets, but I have, as of late, I can't really say. I haven't seen that many. I mean, I don't have an answer for that. Then I've heard terrible things about the new Universal Soldier movies, but I haven't seen anything recent from Van Damme. Yeah, I can fight family. I'll just not watch Fast X. There you go. Yeah, sorry if I seem a little bit out of it. Like I popped up this morning at like 5:30 and I was going to get up at 8. I mean, I got, I feel okay now, but I'm sure later on today it's going to hit me. Yeah, I know. I think, yeah, Nicolas Cage is in it. Apparently the film has no dialogue. No, is that the one I'm thinking about? I know Joe Kinnaman's doing a movie with Nick Cage, but okay, so the one that he's doing with John Woo, apparently he has no dialogue. Like it's going to be an action film with no dialogue, but I'm just not a Joe Kinnaman fan. It depends. I mean, I like the Carolina Panthers, so I do like a little bit of football, but they haven't. They've been sucking the last 8 years or whatever. So, now I don't really watch sports much, but I do watch a little football, like in the season or whatever. Yeah, it was cool when they went to the Super Bowl, but they didn't win. So, yeah, that's really honestly the last time I really cared. Panthers haven't been, like since then, they've been sucking. So I haven't really cared. No, I haven't seen Triple X3. I don't know. I mean, I'm not really on the up and up with Call of Duty or Call of Duty, so I can't say for sure. Like, I haven't played any of the modern Call of Duty games. What was it, Black Ops? Yeah, I'm not. I know about it, but I never played them. Was it Peyton Manning's last year? I thought maybe he played a little bit longer, but yeah. I mean, even like last year, I wasn't really watching as much like football. Like, I mean, of course, I like to watch the Super Bowl, but it was kind of like, okay, here and there, but I never really, for the past couple of years now, like football with me has been very in and out, especially last year. I kind of tuned out really. Okay. No, Vin Diesel, I think maybe he could have worked. Like it would have been cool to see maybe early on, but no, I mean, if the films were done right, maybe you could have inserted Vin Diesel in there in some capacity, but not at this point because the movies have sucked. Like to me, the only good Expendables movie is the first one, and they've squashed and squandered a lot of opportunities. Maybe you could have had Vin Diesel on one side, and he could have went against Sly. Like that would have been a cool fight. Vin Diesel versus Sly, or Vin Diesel, versus Arnold. But that's the what ifs. So no, I mean it's way too late, and really, Vin Diesel was overexposed. Yeah, I did hear about that. Apparently for WrestleMania 40, they like Hulk Hogan. I think they're talking about doing Hulk Hogan versus Steve Austin. I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to see 70-year-old Hulk Hogan. I mean, Steve Austin had a good match at WrestleMania 38 last year, but I mean, I'm sure for WrestleMania 40, they're gonna, go all out and try to make, some big time matches. But I don't want to see that. Um, I'm not too familiar with boutique Blu-ray, so I don't have an answer. But I'll go on for 10 more minutes here. Favorite YouTuber to watch? I would say, I mean, my friends, whether that be Rambo Rap for Life or, the Italian Stallion 51, OCP Communications, OCP Mike, other channels, Curly's grandson, Curly G, yeah, from the Three Stooges. I've been enjoying some of their videos and content. And there's friends that I'm in like that I talk to up here that may not have channels, but we do talk. Like I know Matt Thomas, he used to have a YouTube, but we do talk on here quite a bit. Me and Wildman Beyond, um, you know, Steven, who I think he's got a channel, but Steven is a great guy up here, and there's so many others. Junebug. So yeah, I mean, there's people up here that I've known for a long time, and really good friends that I watch their stuff, and so yeah, those are some. I saw like a little bit of that match, and yeah, apparently, from what I understand, like Flair went out there, and throughout the match, he was like dehydrated. That's why he was, you know, like he wasn't all there. Apparently, like he was so dehydrated, but yeah, that should have never happened. Flair is way too old. You know, like any moment during that match, he could have been, knocked out and you know, turned into dust. As much as I like Ric Flair, that should have never happened. And I know he's been begging for one more. He wants to have a final, like a better match, but Flair's too old. John Avenger, I have no thoughts. UFC fan, maybe back in the day, but not so much now. Thank you, Jack. Mm. Yeah, so in a little bit here, I have to run an errand, and then later on tonight is the rehearsal dinner. So, but I'll go on for a few more minutes here. Oh, my brother's getting married. Uh, yeah, my brother's wedding is tomorrow, so tonight It's a rehearsal dinner, and they have to go back to the men's warehouse here in a little bit and get a dress shirt that fits. Everything else is good, but I have to go out, like go run and do that. Yeah, but tomorrow is the big wedding day for my youngest brother. So yeah. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, he's the last one to get married. I'm the odd man out, the oldest brother. Everybody, I have two brothers and they're both married now. So yeah. Favorite Max Payne game? I've never played the Max Payne series, so I can't really answer that. But I'll take, like three or four more questions here, then we'll wrap up for now. But this has been fun. Yeah, I love the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I do have it. I have the steel book somewhere. But yeah, I love the original. It's my favorite. What would it be like if Herbie the Love Bug was in a Fast and Furious movie? I think Herbie the Love Bug would drive itself off a cliff for being involved in a shitty franchise. It would self terminate. I got to go with action movies. Action movies are my favorite. I love horror, but my favorite is action. Um, Nothing really makes me jump, but I remember uh, way back when on a Halloween night, I was watching one of the Friday the 13th movies at my aunt's house. It may have been like part four or five, I can't remember. But when the doorbell rang, because of trick or treaters, I like jumped off the couch. I was so into the movie that the doorbell made me jump. I remember that, but I mean, nothing really makes me jump anymore or like particular moments. But I'll do one more question here, then we'll wrap up. Favorite serial killer movie? Hmm. I have to think about that one. Let me see here. You know what? I would say seven. Yeah, seven's my favorite. Yeah, that's my favorite. But yeah, that's it for now. Thank you to everybody who tuned in here. And it was fun. But thank you to everybody: British Crumpet Man, Common Rider, DJ, Alter Ego, Jack Thompson, Common Rider, Declan. Um, Thank you guys for joining in. And have a good day, and I'll be back later.